From stories across the globe to stories here at home, this is the National News Broadcast. A very good evening to you. I'm Sharifa Tahir.
A very good evening indeed. I'm Charit Praranji, and now let's move on to the headlines for tonight's news. Funeral held for the patient who succumbed to the coronavirus. Curfew to continue in 6 districts until further notice. Legal action against an opposition politician who violated curfew regulations. Pensions to be paid on the 2nd and 3rd of April. The distribution of pharmaceuticals for patients registered at clinics begins. The chief suspect of the Easter Sunday attacks arrested.
We move on to those and other stories in detail now. The government notifies that the imposed curfew in the Colombo, Gampaha, Kalutara, Puttalam, Kandy and Jaffna districts will be in force until further notice. Curfew will be lifted in other districts at 6 a.m. tomorrow and reimposed at 2 p.m. The President's Media Division announced the latest decision taken by the government with regard to the imposed curfew. Previously, although it was announced that curfew will continue in the Colombo, Gampaha, Kalutara and Jaffna districts until further notice, currently the Kandy and Puttalam districts have also been included amongst them. Curfew in force in the other districts will be lifted at 6 a.m. tomorrow and reimposed at 2 p.m. Movements across the districts have been prohibited totally except for essential services. Steps have been taken to enforce the law strictly against those who misuse the procedures put in place to efficiently carry out essential services. As the steps required to control the spread of the coronavirus have been implemented for the well-being of the people, the government calls on the public to adhere to these measures and guidelines with responsibility. The Atalagama village in the Kalutara district and the Akurana village in the Kandy districts have been declined or rather declared quarantined areas. Therefore, entry to and exit from these villages is totally banned.
වෙනත් කිසිම ස්ථානයකට යාමට නොවේ ඔබගේ අත්‍යවශ්‍ය ආහාර ද්‍රව්‍ය හෝ ඖෂධ ලබා ගැනීමට පමණයි. යතුරු පැදිවල දෙතුන් දිනක් ගමන් කිරීම, ත්‍රිරෝද රථවල දෙතුන් දිනක් ගමන් කිරීමෙන් වැළකී යුතුයි. අපි අනිවාර්යෙන්ම හෙට දිනේ සිවිල් ඇඳුමින් සැරසුණු පොලිස් නිලධාරීන් ඇඳිරි නීතිය යම් ප්‍රමාණයකට ඉවත් කරන ප්‍රදේශවල වෙළඳසැල් සහ එම නගර ආශ්‍රිතව යොදවනු ලබනවා. ඒ සෑම විටම දෙදෙනෙක් අතර පරතරය මීටරයකට වඩා තබා ගන්න. ඒ වගේම අපි වෙළඳසැල් හිමියන්ගෙන් ඉල්ලා සිටිනවා නිරෝධායන රීතීන් වලට අනුව තම වෙළඳසැල්ට එන පාරිභෝගිකයන් හැසිරවීමට කටයුතු කරන ලෙස.
With the detection of a coronavirus-infected person from the Atulagama area and Bandaragama, steps were taken to isolate the village and lock down the entire area. This measure was taken as information surfaced that the infected individual had interacted closely with 26 individuals in the area. The Atulagama area has a population of around 15,000 persons and the inhabitants have been prohibited from exiting the area until further notice. The village is currently under the supervision of the Health and Defence units. The Akurana village in the Kandy district was also locked down after a corona-infected person was detected. The population of the Akurana area is around 76,000 and the village comprises of around 23,000 houses. As the Akurana area enters lockdown, no individual is permitted to exit the area for any reason until further notice. The area is currently under the supervision of the police and tri-forces. Entry to Arunodaya Mawata at Obesekarapura in Rajagiriya has been temporarily prohibited as several patients suspected to have contracted the coronavirus were identified from the area. The decision was taken upon the instructions of the Chief Medical Officer of Health of the Kotte Municipal Council. A cleric of the Obesekarapura area had taken a group of devotees for a service to the Suryavava area on the 15th of this month, and some of the participants are said to have displayed signs of the corona infection. Therefore, the area around Arunodaya Mawata at Obesekarapura was sealed off.
අකුරණ නගරයේ මේ ආකාරයෙන් හුදකලා කරපු ස්ථාන දෙකක් හැටියට පවත්වාගෙන යනු ලබනවා.
And meanwhile, home delivery of essential pharmaceuticals when curfew is imposed is underway throughout the island. The objective of this move is to continuously supply essential drugs to patients whilst minimizing the risk of coronavirus spread. The government yesterday decided to deliver the drugs of patients who are registered with government clinics to their homes through a special postal service. The move was underway from today. Our correspondent reports that the distribution of essential drugs commenced at a number of hospitals in keeping with the decision. Steps have been taken to continue with this measure until the corona risk is mitigated. Meanwhile, a private pharmacy in Hatton, upon special permission granted by the Decoy Urban Council, has initiated a program to deliver essential drugs to the residences of patients with city limits. Under the initiative, drugs ordered through social media are delivered to patients' very doorstep.
In the meantime, Ministry of Sri Lanka Foreign Relations says that close to 700 overseas Sri Lankans have made special requests on the possibility of return to the country. Responding to the inquiries, the government has urged the Sri Lankan expatriates to safely remain where they are at present until the risk of COVID-19 virus is contained in the country. The government has taken several measures through its mission network to continue to facilitate and address the immediate concerns of the overseas Sri Lankans. Many inquiries have been made by overseas Sri Lankans through Contact Sri Lanka thus far relating to the possibility of return to the country. 17,457 have registered on the Ministry's Contact Sri Lanka online portal by yesterday noon. The portal, jointly created by the Ministry of Foreign Relations and the Information and Communication Technology Agency of Sri Lanka for the benefit of Sri Lankans overseas, was launched on last Thursday. It is hosted on the Ministry webpage www.mfa.gov.lk and can also be accessed at www.contactsrilanka.mfa.gov.lk. Of the 17,457 registered, 6,773 are from the Middle East region, 1,892 from Europe, 1,302 from South Asia, 1,028 from North America, and over 6,000 from other parts of the world. A dedicated team of officials have been assigned by the Ministry of Foreign Relations to respond to these queries.
And meanwhile, the Health Promotion Bureau states 2 more corona-infected patients were discharged today upon full recovery. Meanwhile, the funeral of patients who succumbed to the disease yesterday was held at the Kotikavatta Crematorium today. The employees of the crematorium were educated on the health guidelines that need to be followed after the cremation.
මාස්ක් එක ගලවන්න එපා මේ වැඩේ ඉවර වෙනවා. බොඩි එකේ වැඩ ඉවර වුණාට පස්සේ මේ සියලු මේ තැන් වලට ඩෙලිවරි නාටක තියලා ගහලා ඊට පස්සේ ඔය දෙන්න ඔය ඇඳන් ඉන්න ඇඳන් සමග ගිහිල්ලා කවර එකක් නාලා ඊට පස්සේ යන්න පිට පොදන්න දාලා ආයේ නැවත සබන් දාලා හොඳට නාලා ඊට පස්සේ පිරිසුදුකමක් කරගන්න.
The final rites took place with the intervention of the consultant judicial medical officer and the public health officer at medical officers of health of the area. The family members were permitted to pay their last respect for a short while when the face of the sealed body was uncovered for a moment. The deceased individual was a 60-year-old male who underwent treatment at the IDH. A resident of Maravilla, he was a fourth confirmed case identified as a tour guide. The health authority says the deceased individual has undergone kidney transplant surgery a few years ago and was suffering from diabetes and high blood pressure. Director General of Health Services Dr. Anil Jarsingh says in such situations the bodies of the deceased are sealed in body bags. Dr. Jarsingh explained to close relatives of the deceased are permitted to see the face of their deceased relative for a short while, and if necessary short religious rites can be conducted in the hospital itself. Thereafter, the body is taken straight to the crematorium or to the cemetery at which the body is buried at a depth of 8 feet. Meanwhile, with the detection of 9 more infected patients yesterday, the total number of confirmed cases in the country has reached 115. Today, 2 patients were underwent treatment at the IDH hospital at Angoda were discharged upon recovery. Thereby, together with the Chilean lady who was discharged on the 19th of February, the total number of fully recovered patients is now 11. 104 infected
of patients are undergoing treatment at the IDH Hospital at Angoda, the Valikanda Base Hospital and the Mullaria Base Hospital. So far, confirmed cases have been reported from the Puttalam, Kandiyakulam, Bandaragama, Atalugama, Akurala and Telambugahavatta areas. Minister of Health Pavitra Vanyarajya says when persons who have been instructed to undergo self-quarantining do not act responsibly, the entire country is put into difficulty when they are infected with the virus. She observed that this was the situation at Atalugama and therefore all the villagers had to be instructed to be confined to their homes and the entire village entered lockdown. Medical investigations are underway into 117 individuals suspected to have contracted the virus. Amongst the district defined as high risk in respect of the potential spread of the virus, the highest number of patients have been detected from the Colombo district. 25 confirmed cases were reported from the Colombo district, while 17 reported from Kalutara district, with 11 from the Puttalam district, 10 from Gampaha district and 3 from the Ratnapura district. Meanwhile, a special operation was launched today to identify individuals of the Hinatiyagala, Vettumkada and Hilvidya areas of Kalutara who engaged in employment in the Atalugama area in Bandaragama and have returned to their homes. The police and the public health inspectors of the Kalutara National Health Institute have joined in this operation to identify such individuals with the support of the residents of the area. Self-quarantining will be recommended for such individuals. In addition, an individual of the Balapitiya area who arrived as a relative home in Atalugama has been advised to undergo self-quarantining in his own house. The individual, in a bank employee, and his place of work was disinfected today. His family members were also instructed to undergo self-quarantining. 4 residents of the Kirindivala area had also been involved in construction work of a house in Atalugama area. The Pugada MOH office today took steps to treat these individuals, these family members and those closely interacted with them to self-quarantine. Thereby, family members of 15 households have been subjected to self-quarantining. 15 residents of the Mayangana area who had direct interactions with the Akurana village in Kandy have also been directed by the Mayangana police and medical officers of the health to undergo self-quarantining. Quarantine medical observations of passengers arriving from countries in which the coronavirus is widespread commenced from the 10th of March. Currently, 1,564 individuals have successfully completed their quarantine period, and the 6th batch consisting of 76 individuals was discharged from their quarantine centers today. Amongst those who completed their quarantine medical observation period, 25 individuals were from the quarantine centers established in the premises of the Galkanda Army Camp in Valikanda. 49 individuals who were discharged from the Poonani Quarantine Centre also headed for their homes today. They were extremely grateful to the Army for looking into their needs during the 14-day quarantine period. 131 individuals who were quarantined at 4 hotels in the Maharama area completed their quarantine period today. They were presented the certificates of the successful completion of quarantine medical observations by the public health inspectors. They were quarantined as 3 corona-infected tour guides has visited the hotel.
In the meantime, the government has decided to pay pensions on the 2nd and 3rd of April. Pensioners who are unable to collect their pensions on these days can alternatively collect their pensions on the 6th of April. This decision was taken at a meeting at the Presidential Task Force on Essential Services, which was held today. Pensions can be obtained from post offices or can be withdrawn from bank accounts. The post offices will deliver the pensions to the residences or the Grama-Niladhari divisions of the pensioners. For pensioners who withdraw their pensions from their bank accounts, the pensions will be credited to the relevant accounts on the 2nd or 3rd of April. As curfew has been imposed, pensioners will be facilitated with the mediation of their respective Grama-Niladharis to be transported to their closest bank branch and back home on the 2nd and 3rd of April. Transportation facilities will be provided by the police and tri-forces with the support of the Grama-Niladharis. The Presidential Task Force says the government and private bankers have agreed on having at least one branch of every bank kept open on the relevant days in the respective towns for the convenience of the pensioners. Meanwhile, it was also decided today to deliver the elders allowance and disability allowance to the homes of the beneficiaries. This decision was taken to prevent crowds from gathering in a bid to control the corona risk.
And meanwhile, a number of private sector institutions have extended relief and to the health authorities to prevent the spread of the coronavirus. The Sri Lankan Trade Development Council and Royal Nursing Homes have jointly taken steps to donate 2 ambulances with medical staff. These ambulances, which are worth over 50 million rupees, are equipped with all facilities required in an ICU. In addition, the donation of 25 modern hospital beds worth 2 million rupees also took place today. Meanwhile, Huawei Technologies Lanka Private Limited just today donated a stock of medical equipment worth 2 million rupees to the Ministry of Health. Macca, which is an affiliated company of Maxons, donated a stock of disinfected liquid to the Sri Lanka Police. Senior DIG Jesabandhu Tennakon accepted the stocks at the police headquarters today.
Deputy Commissioner of Excise Kapila Kumarasinghe says stern action will be taken against those who violate the excise law. Steps have been taken to take action not only under excise regulations but also under the ordinary law in the event of violations. Deputy Commissioner of Excise Kapila Kumarasinghe observed amongst a number of measures implemented to safeguard the public against the COVID-19 virus, one step was to maintain social distancing. However, crowds gathering at liquor shops and cocktail parties, which attract many participants, are an obstruction to maintaining social distancing. He noted the health authorities have pointed out to the task force on the prevention of the coronavirus that the situation poses a heightened health risk. The Deputy Commissioner stated that they took steps to seal 2 liquor shops that did not conform to the laws in the country. He further stated steps have been taken to take action not only under excise regulations but also under the ordinary law in the event of violations. Deputy Commissioner Kumarasinghe observes legitimate liquor sales outlets have been closed. However, illegal breweries are found in the interior of villages, and these breweries, which also mix elements hazardous to health, attract crowds. Therefore, he calls on the public to take steps to put a stop to such illegal places by bringing such activities to the notice of the Department of Excise or the police or the Tri-Forces.
And meanwhile, the main suspect wanted in connection with attack of the Sion Church at Betiklo on Easter Sunday has been arrested. Over 20 persons were killed in the terrorist attack launched at the Sion Church on the morning of Easter Sunday. Police media spokesman SSP Jalya Senaratne, speaking at a media briefing in Colombo today, said the suspect who handled the bomb is a President or Gall Road in Mount Lavinia. The suspect was arrested by the CID today. SSP Senaratne further stated the CID is conducting further investigations into the coordination done between the other bombers of this suspect and into whether an invisible hand is behind the attacks. He further stated information has surfaced the suspect had even directed the bomber after Kochikade Shrine. And with that, we conclude tonight's news. Do it just tomorrow at the very same time.
Have a pleasant night and stay safe.